Welcome back. 37-year-old boat captain Shenandoah Baker making his first appearance in the South Street Magistrates Court today. The Carmichael Road resident was formally charged before Magistrate Samuel McKinney with one count of knowingly assisting in illegal landing.
Now, court papers show that the boat captain was found at Little Inagua assisting 12 Haitians to enter the country illegally. Baker pleaded not guilty to the charge and bail was denied. He returns to court on September 16th for a bail hearing. Now, as a part of the police commissioner's plan for 2014, increased police presence was among the top priorities, and the force is doing just that.
Our Jared Higgs, aided by cameraman Randy Butler, or Randy Knows that is, got to witness it all.
Over the past few weeks, police have made a visible effort to increase their presence in many inner-city communities.
The objective is really the prevention and detection of crime, and mostly to get in the area we call this hot spots.
Dozens of officers riding in large convoys comb the streets of New Providence looking for prolific offenders. Our ZNS News team rode along with the police operation Tuesday night, where we witnessed firsthand the impact that the police contingent had on communities marred with violence. While the streets were quieter than usual, partially due to the rain, officer in charge of the Western Division, Superintendent Alan Emanuel, says the operations have turned out serious offenders and persons with outstanding warrants.
And we got many arrests for various offenses. We got arrests for some question reference to murder, all serious crime. And we had a lot of WA, warrants of arrest, outstanding warrants for people never turn up to court.
The scene was similar during rush hour traffic on Friday evening, as officers throughout New Providence conducted roadblocks. We spoke with Assistant Police Commissioner Leon Bethel at the East and Market Streets operation.
We have doubled up on everything what we have been doing to deal with criminals, a lot of them who have been released from prison, who tried to cause havoc on our street. And we are going after every one of them. We know they are, so we are going after them, and we are going to search all of these houses, all these cars you see moving about. We are going to try to put them back in prison where they're supposed to be.
Police promised to continue these exercises, especially after Monday's police report revealed a quiet night. Jared Higgs, ZNS Network News.
Well, the fire department on average receives 6 calls a day for either house or bush fires.
And for the year, officers responded to approximately 1,100 calls and investigated several fire-related deaths.
Cleopatra Murphy tells us that firefighters pounded the pavement today to examine the readiness of hydrants.
3 fire deaths have been recorded for the year, the latest being an infant who died after being left alone with another minor in August. Now the fire department is once again driving home the message of fire safety. ZNS News accompanied the fire department during a routine inspection of fire hydrants, bore wells, and excavated wells on Hawthorne Road and the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium Tuesday, where Constable 3054 Kekia Smith reiterated these life-saving tips.
If you're using lighters or candles, to make sure that it is out of the way of young children. We have had incidences where fires were set with young children playing with matches. We also want to be aware of leaving pots unattended when you're cooking. Set a timer. Make sure that you are able to respond if your house or if your cooking, has started to catch on fire.
The inspections are the department's efforts to ensure when called to battle a blaze, the fire department can effectively react. Officials performing inspections on Hawthorne Road found pressure strong, but at the sports complex where a large sporting event is expected this weekend, water pressure was weak, which could impact firefighting effectiveness.
We want to make sure that in the event that there's a fire, that we do have a quick source, we have a reliable source of water where we want to check, make sure that the pressure is adequate to supply the truck and it won't take too long to fill up, because as we know, fire is a raging, a living thing, so we want to be on time.
In New Providence, the department has 7 fire trucks that each carry 1,000 gallons of water, as well as a 2,000-gallon tanker. Officials say with 6 stations in the capital, fire trucks should arrive within 5 to 15 minutes of receiving a call. More importantly, Smith says do not assume someone else called to report the fire. And this warning to motorists: hydrants should never be blocked.
Parking in front of a fire hydrant is an offense, because if the emergency vehicles need access to the hydrant, we won't be able to get the water, and we'll have to subsequently damage or destroy or have the vehicle moved.
On average, the department receives about 2,000 calls a year, and to improve response times, officials say you should call the department immediately after a fire starts. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
In Family Island news, the Bahamian government was applauded for its efforts towards preserving the environment. Last evening, members of the Christie administration met with international groups on the island of Andros as they partnered to take a look at environmental projects. Clint was there.
The government's concentration to preserving the natural resources of the Bahamas and our environment through a number of environmental programs, studies, and internationally funded partnerships is being saluted by the Inter-American Development Bank, the region's largest and oldest international funding institute. The bank's representative, Astrid Wynter, at a dinner last night on Kamalame Key, hosted in collaboration with the Nature Conservancy Global Board, congratulated Prime Minister Perry Christie for this accomplishment.
The bank congratulates the Honourable Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Prime Minister Christie, as this is the first time a Prime Minister in the region, in the Caribbean, has spearheaded an ecosystem-based environmental development initiative for the first time. In this regard, we at the Inter-American Development Bank see this event here in Andros tonight, which brings all of us together in the Bahamas, policymakers, the TNC Global Board members. We see this as an opportunity that will potentially lead to future partnerships aimed at the development of Andros, other family islands, and maybe other islands in the region that may want to adopt the model that's being developed here in the Bahamas.
The presence of Prime Minister Christie and several cabinet ministers underlined the significance of having the global board of the Nature Conservancy on Andros, an island known for its wetlands, coastal communities, and now budding agriculture sector. President and CEO of TNC, Mark Tersek, thanked the nation's leader for his commitment in sustainable environmental and economic development, recognizing that balancing both is remarkable.
Our interest in working with you extends beyond the Bahamas. We think your example can inspire other island nations, and we really salute the work you've done in spreading the word. And then finally, we have our challenges ahead. We understand that island nations are particularly vulnerable to the threats that will come from a changing and stressed climate. And we also want to pledge to be good partners there to help people better understand the causes of climate change and, again, the practical, economic-friendly ways we can address that.
Mr. Christie, in his remarks, says the country is anxiously awaiting assistance to undergo a study to determine how to maximize the resources and planning for Andros, particularly with the yield result from BAMSI.
We expect Stanford University to come in, to go to every part of the three parts of this island, the south, the central, and the north, with a view to examining the conditions there and how best for us to go about moving it forward.
So this has been a very good night for us, and we know that we have advanced not only the cause of BAMSI here, but we've advanced Andros and the Bahamas in this exercise.
In Central Andros, Clint Watson, ZNS Network News.